Hey everyone, Nick here. Today we are going to do another ranking video, and we're going to rank the ending of all the Halloween franchise movies. A couple of things to note before we get into it though. I didn't include any of the Rob Zombie films. A couple of reasons for that. Number one, I don't like them. I know there's a lot of people that do, but I am not one of them. But the main reason is because I'm not as well versed in them as all the original kind of franchise movies. Um, Zombies movies. I saw them multiple times, but it's nothing I want to ever rewatch for various reasons. So I didn't include them here, but I did include Halloween 3. So there's 9 movies, and it's just going to be my feelings on the endings of the movies. So we're going to get into it and go from there. So starting out at the worst ending, in my opinion, ranking number 9 is Halloween Resurrection. Man, the ending to this movie, just like most of the movie, is pretty brutal. Not even getting into the kung fu Busta Rhymes bullshit. Um, but just he's kind of taken away, and his eye opens at the end. Ooh, it feels like something an amateur director would choose, or amateur writer would choose. Honestly, I used to work with children, and I guarantee you some fifth graders could have came up with a better ending. So it's just bland, uh, nothing special. So don't really have too much else to say about that. But it comes in last place for me. Coming in at second last place, number 8, is Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, obviously, there are two different versions of this film. I just went with the theatrical release. If I had to choose the producer's cut, it'd probably fall within the same area here, or it'd probably still be second last. Um, this ending, it's just terrible. It's lame. Um, Sticking to the theatrical cut, Paul Rudd, Tommy, beats Michael to a pulp with a pipe. He's got green shit injected into him. Loomis goes back in there, and it ends with him screaming, and then you see the mask on the ground. The visual of the mask on the ground with Loomis screams is kind of cool, but other than that, it's not really an ending at all. So it comes in at number 8 for me. Obviously, there was all kinds of issues with this movie, and that affected everything about the movie, including the ending. So it's second last for me. Coming in at number 7 is Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers from 1989. Once again, not going to talk about anything but the ending here. Another bad ending. The last thing I want to do is see Michael Myers sitting in a jail cell, kind of hunched over, with his mask still on. Uh, that takes away all his mystique, even though it was kind of taken away by the director in this movie anyway. But it just takes it away, and then you got the man in black who comes in with what looked like a Tommy gun, shoots up the police station. Um, Jamie, wanders in there and sees the destroyed cell and fire, and knows that Michael is taken. And then it just kind of ends. This ending was so bad it took him 6 years to come up with a story for the next movie, and we knew nothing about the Man in Black. I believe I heard at one time, because I didn't know who he was, there was talk that he could have been Michael Myers' twin brother. Thank God that didn't happen. Although who knows if that's even worse than what did happen after this. But anyway, that H5's ending is this far down the list for me, just because of Michael sitting in that cell. It's ahead of the others I mentioned, just because it was at least a little bit interesting, and you're kind of wondering what's going to happen next. But it was pretty bad, so that's at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is the new one, Halloween 2018. There's I didn't like this ending. So you got Michael. They say it's not a fortress or whatever. It's a trap, and the bars come across, and you see Michael standing there with the fire, standing there looking up the stairs at Jamie and Allison and Karen, was that her name? But yeah, she's looking up at them, and even though the fire in the background as he's about to burn is a cool visual, I just didn't like it at all. It could have been much better done. and then it kind of goes to the three of them sitting in a truck, Allison gripping the knife, and then, cut to black or fade to black. Just with all the hype this movie had, it could have been a much better ending. So that's why it falls kind of a little bit in the middle, but towards the bottom. Coming in at number 5. Now, all these next endings I really liked. It was very hard for me to rank the rest of these endings. Some of them might be shit movies, but I really enjoyed all these endings. So no matter what the ranking is from here on up, they're all endings I enjoyed and I thought were pretty well done for the most part. So coming in at number 5 is Halloween 3. Super cool ending here. One you don't see very often, if at all. Chalice gets to the gas station, gets 2 of the stations to turn off the commercial, and he starts screaming, turn it up, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then, it cuts to black. It's cool. It's just a cool ending because I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I expected them, to get all 3 channels off, boom, happy-ish ending. Even though Ellie was a robot at the end, or was a robot the whole time, whatever you think. But it's just a cool ending, because it leaves it ambiguous, and it's almost kind of like, even though Cochran died, it's almost like the bad guys won, because the commercial's playing, and who knows what's happening throughout the world. If kids' faces are melting off, and bugs and shit are coming out of the masks, and all the children are dead. It would seem that was kind of the ending there for anyone watching that one channel that they wouldn't turn off. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that is number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4 is Halloween 2, 1981. Love this ending because it kind of, in theory, was supposed to end the Michael Myers saga. It was supposed to be a one-off, obviously, but that's a whole nother issue. But as far as this ending, Loomis takes the lighter. It's time, Michael. Lights it, blows up. Laurie just barely gets out of there. And then you see Michael walking on fire. And, kind of the H2 synthesizer starts playing. And you're like, oh my God, he's still walking. And then he falls down. And you just kind of see the mask burning. I thought it was awesome. It left it where Michael was still just unstoppable force of nature because he kept walking while on fire, but it's over. Loomis blew him up and blew himself up in the process. He gave his life to stop the evil. So I thought that was a perfectly fitting ending for the second chapter there. Wish it was the final chapter, but whatever. So that falls at number 4 for me. All right, we're at the top 3. Coming in at number 3, Halloween H2O. Anyone that knows me knows I hate this freaking movie. Can't stand it. But man, did they nail the ending. I remember being in the theater. It's 15 or 16. I can't remember when the movie came out. If it came out in the summer, if it came out, in late October. I'm fairly certain it probably came out in the summer. But anyway, so I'd have been 15 years old in the theater. And I just remember getting goosebumps, when Laurie takes the axe and chops his head off. The head rolls down and stops, and then the theme music starts playing. I just had goosebumps, even though I didn't particularly like that version of the theme music. It was still pretty awesome, and a perfect way to end it right there for good, or so we thought. So that comes in at number 3 for me. Top 2, number 2 is Halloween 4 from 1988. Man, this is probably the craziest ending in the franchise. Another one that, the first time I saw it, I was just stunned. So Michael's shot by 100 bullets, goes down the mine shaft, and then they're kind of relaxing, so to speak. Loomis is talking to, was it Meeker and Ellie Rachel? But then you see a mask go over the camera, just like at the beginning of the original Halloween. And, then the stepmother, Mrs. Carruthers, gets stabbed. And then, Loomis goes to the stairs. No. He raises his gun. Meeker knocks down the gun. Meeker raises his gun, and then he sees that it's Jamie, in the clown costume, holding a knife, blood all over her, and just the blood-curdling screams of Loomis yelling, no, just the look on his face. And then it ends. It's just amazing. unbelievable. I didn't see that coming. If anyone else saw that coming, more power to you. I think you're a fucking liar. But it was unbelievable. It was awesome, just awesome. Very creative. So that comes in at number 2 for me. No surprise, number 1 is the OG from 1978. Just what else can be said about this ending that hasn't already been said before? Loomis shoots him 6 times. Michael falls over the balcony. Loomis goes and looks, and he's gone. And then you get the breathing, and then the locations of where he was as the breathing gets heavier, and the theme music playing. It's just incredible. One thing I always thought was cool was, from what I heard, Donald Pleasence gave Carpenter 2 options on how he could play the scene. He said, I can play it where I go and see Michael's body's gone and I'm shocked, or I can go and play it where I look, I see his body's gone, and I knew it was going to happen. So he went with the second one where he kind of looked, and he already knew that he was going to be gone, and he's just not surprised. And I thought that was excuse me, I thought that was brilliant by Donald Pleasence. I thought it just helped the scene, and it's perfect ending. Should have ended there, obviously, but it didn't. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that it's the best ending in the series. So that's it. That's my rant and ranking on the Halloween endings. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Always up for healthy debates. So yeah, thanks.